online matches. So, but yeah, we are live, and again, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for your patience while we fix those issues with the servers. But we are live now, and again, Complexity will be starting off on the T side and going pretty straightforward here into the back box halls. Only keeping, I believe that's Desi over there in the Ivy push, just watching out to make sure they don't get flanked out from there. Smokes are going to be spotted early on, but Skadoodle will have plenty of time to toss in his own response, but unfortunately it's going to be a little bit late regardless. Now Stewie holding on, but there's no reaction from him at all. Def just immediately knocks him out of the play, and we're down to a 5v4 where the guys from Complexity are holding a lot of control. They do still have to worry about CDs on the backside, but they're handling them as well. Android finding Skadoodle here. He's going to push forward and even pick up a second frag, looking for a third now as they've got Shroud boxed out, and there you go. It's Complexity, a 5-man alive round as well, as they can take complete control of the pistol here.
Yeah, and Stewie was assuming that Skadoodle, who was his rotator, would shoot at them while they were crossing a bomb train, which would make it so that's like a bait setup, right? They're probably not going to check Stewie, but Skadoodle got blind, so he wasn't able to take that attention away from Stewie, and Depp just straight checks it because of that. Had Skadoodle been able to, you know, get some shots off and just make him look at him, Stewie's probably able to get 1 or 2 kills in the side. But without that, it's very difficult to do. Complexity takes that kill, and they just push to the back over and over and over again. Just push, 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 push. Now we see a 3-man Ivy setup.
The rest of C9 here trying to play the inside of Ivy, but it's not working out so well. Handled again by Android very well here. Gets 2 kills, finally a drop down to boosting himself up on top of this little wall here that he can try to utilize to sneak around. He may be able to catch Jason R, but unfortunately he was spotted first off, so he ends up getting the better of him. And again, no kills as of yet for Cloud9 against Complexity. 2 rounds deep on this one. And as we go into the 3rd round, it's unlikely that we may even see any kills going into this round, since there's not going to be any investment at all. A full save is about to be seen from C9 here, as they'll just work with their default pistols in the 3rd round before they save up going into the 4th with a gun round.
Yeah, I mean, Automatic's inside Ivy, and he's behind that place, or, you know, the whatever you want to call it, right?
Server or whatever in the middle.
Server, whatever you want to call it. And that's something you see. SK literally does that almost every single eco that they play. Cold Zero will be there almost every eco, and he'll just have someone kind of bait for him. And it's something that has a very high rate of success, but for whatever reason, they just had like a 3 Ivy type thing, and it just wasn't good.
Yeah, and again, it's actually rather spread out here from Complexity this time on the opener. Desi, the only one that goes into T-Con, and they spread 2 more out towards Ivy, which have now regrouped with the T-Con player, and 2 more into the box halls. Jason R, the first up here to peek from upper, but he is going to get spotted. Desi knows that nothing is pushing in here. He does get dinked, though, down to 3 HP, but he still recovers and gets the kill. And just going to hightail back out of there. The rest of his team is getting prepared to just rush their way in towards B here in a moment and see if they can just close out this round with getting control of the site against. There really isn't anything worth hunting down on the Cloud9 side, them being on the full saves. They just want to look for the win condition here. I think it's going deep, but they are doing some decent damage, though, so finally they pick up a kill against Complexity. Skadoodle being the one to get it, but the bomb is going to go down, and Jason R tapping away at range, takes him a few bullets, but he not only gets Shroud, he follows it up with an instant tap there on a Stewie to take him out as well.
Yeah, nice 3K by Jason R, especially that CZ, man. Those are tough kills, getting them that far away. Surprised Shroud didn't take him out, being on top of that train. Now Cloud9's going to get their bot round. They don't have any mollies or anything, so we'll see if Complexity wants to do anything quick. Anything quick out mid, there's not really anything to stop them, right? There's going to be no mollies. They're going to be able to get out and fight together. Looks like Desi's going to throw a quick sandwich smoke and an E-box smoke coming out from Surreal. So 2 team mid, and maybe he goes into a default or a down ladder pop flash.
The guys from Complexity here now going to try to get their way outside, and while they'll find an easy path to do it, is nothing again just swings himself into the opening there, where Desi's going to have no problem punishing him right at the start of the round. Skadoodle is looking for responses to this one as he holds the short lane there, but there's nothing to be seen, and now Complexity even pushing over towards inner, where they're going to get it cleaned out for free. Cloud9 have not figured out what's going on just yet, and even when they do, there's not even really going to be any room for a retake at all anymore. As we can see, Automatic walks into his own death up the ladder there. Android getting an easy headshot to take him out, and the last 2, they may even get eliminated as well if they don't account for Desi, who is flanked to the outside of Ivy and is now going to be looking. Goodness, as I think Cloud9 are expecting this. And Shroud finally is able to take out Desi here, and it does give them a clean path at the very least to save these guns.
Yeah, that's just kind of like a rank-S strat as they're, you know, chasing Cloud9. They know exactly where they are. They might be able to get these kills.
Skadoodle is going to be waiting on the outside for this one. Oh, missing the first shot, and now he gets blinded as well, trying to respond to it. Shrouds are helping him out, but Jason R and Android work together and knock them both out. No saves at all, and this is looking really, really clean at the moment here for Complexity.
It is. So Complexity there, all they did was they threw a 5-6 smoke, they threw an E-box smoke. They had one player kind of go outside T-mid, and then two players just kind of walked out upper. Right, so almost certainly there's going to be 4 outside. That inner player can, it's pretty difficult when they're coming out upper, inner, just kind of walking out 2 guys and then, maybe throwing nades down lower. So it's a pretty scrimmy strat, but it worked very, very well. And those are the strats that actually work, not only work very well, but are something that is pretty optimal against like people who just don't have a bunch of nades. I think we're going to see some type of a pause, maybe a match medic or something like that. Yeah. Should be canceled. Not sure what happened. Maybe somebody lagged out.
Yep, there you go. So that's Shroud that's lagging out there. So again, guys, we'll go into a pause here really quickly and get the round canceled, and our admins will get right on that to try and fix it as quickly as possible. Once again, no action occurred, so obviously no problem canceling that one and then just redoing it. But yeah, I mean, this is like an incredibly clean start for Complexity. I think overall, Cloud9 have only killed 2 members of Complexity in the first 4 rounds. They're not finding really any impact at all. And Complexity is walking out and winning all the opening duels as Cloud9 seem to play really hyper-aggressively and just giving away a lot of their opening chances here.
I mean, nothing was playing around E-box, and he was kind of just angled out on the side of the smoke, but I don't know if that's the best way to play it. I usually find more success playing on the edge of the smoke and waiting until they're out a little bit and then kind of peeking, and being the peeker in that situation, because usually they'll clear the smoke, maybe they'll start working up towards, getting behind the smoke and sandwich or something like that, or maybe even on the ladder, trying to get up above the train and stuff, and then you could peek. Instead, Desi kind of sees his feet and he gets the advantage because he's already past the smoke. So nothing kind of getting aggressive, just on his own a little bit. Right there at outer gives them that early pick, and whenever that early pick happens, there's always going to be that rotator at outside. So that means inner is very vulnerable. So Stewie at inner just gets taken out by 2 players walking out upper, and that's a really tough position to be in when you're the inner player.
All right, guys. So it is looking like that we're working on getting things fixed here, but it is going to take a little bit of time in order to resolve that. So we unfortunately, once more, do have to go over towards a break here. We're working on getting things fixed as quickly as possible, and as soon as he's been showing himself up now for a couple months, but we never really saw him go onto a team or anything like that, at least at the pro level. So it's kind of a curiosity for some people.
What he said was he just wants to be on like a top team,
Yeah.
And why would he not stream and take away from that to be on a team that's like bottom of invite or something like that, which are like the only offers he's getting, right?
Yeah.
So that was kind of his reasoning.
So we're back into it, guys. Just as a note, the score is probably correct. Sometimes it just takes like a round to refresh itself, but it is currently 4-0 to Complexity. If not, we'll obviously just do math in our heads here and figure things out as it goes on. Yeah, sometimes simple math is a bit of a task for casters. But
Jason R will get the itch, though. Yeah. Shroud takes out Desi. Where was that? T-mid.
T-con.
Picks up an AK. Jason R is going to get the itch, though, and he's going to join a team. Like, it's really tough not to play CS when you get offers to play at a high level, even if you're, even if you're joining a team that's like bottom half of invite. You just get the itch, man. You just get the itch to like compete. Play CS.
Yeah, get to the big stage and everything like that. So Complexity taking this actually rather slow now after the loss of Desi, since they don't really have a way to negotiate themselves into the A site from that other half of the map anymore. All they really have is Ivy control, and they are sneaking into it here to try to push themselves forward. But close up to the left side, he is going to be Skadoodle. Shroud actually from long range picks up another kill. They haven't even seen Skadoodle yet here at the train stopper, so he's going to execute. Shroud picking up more kills, and Automatic chimes in there as well. So they upset on what was basically just a P250 investment, and now they're on the board.
Wow. That's pretty devastating for Complexity. I mean, they're going against basically a full eco, and the most devastating part of that is that Cloud9 picks up, I think it was 4 of their guns. They live with like 4 alive, and they just pick up all their guns. They pick up their AWP, their 4 AKs or whatever, 3 AKs. I mean, they barely even have to spend any money this round. Yeah,
and so, yeah, with the investment being so low, they're immediately going to get themselves a kickstart right back into their own economy. Granted, again, did you drop anything?
Anyways, we are alive, though. No, I'm sure they did.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's going to get back into it. They probably only have like 800 bucks.
But all that good talk we were talking about, the position and Complexity was in earlier, all of a sudden, you could take all that away. Because like the economy that they built up is not there anymore. Now all of a sudden, all their guns are on Cloud9, and Cloud9, you know, they got like 6,400 there at the end of that round, and they really only have to invest like 2,000 apiece.
Yeah, basically just armor and utility for
Yeah.
everybody except for Shroud there. So taking a look at it now, and we'll see again what complexity you're going to try and do. And at the moment, again, it's just your basic execute into A more than likely here. As you can see, Android and the others setting up for smokes to try and toss towards outside. Automatic playing super close up here right now.
The fallen spot.
As he is going to try to just take a challenge over here in T-Con as they move in. But complexity biding their time. We're not really seeing a whole lot of action beyond that. There's a bit of a face-off between Desi and Shroud over there towards Ivy, but nothing that's really led to much as of yet. Jason R actually took most of the early damage here as he got challenged back over at ladder room, and now Automatic throwing in the smoke. He has the right side open, but they've actually just decided to go through the smoke. Still impacts for the first kill, goes back into the sandwich for a second before being traded up by Def, and everyone else on the team just goes down to the ground. Def finds one kill. Desi's going to try to flank back in. He does take down Shroud, but now he's got a 1v3 set against him. The bomb's on the other side of the site. They know where he's playing from, and as he walks into the open, nothing's there with the AK, and he's going to close it out.
Yeah, great hold by Automatic. That's what Fallen does all the time. He opts around that sandwich area, gets aggressive, and it's a different look when you're a T. When you're a T, you expect the first person to fight to generally be a rifler. When you come out T mid, you don't expect somebody opping like sandwich, right? You expect that if you, for instance, throw inner smokes, that the rotator is not going to be there and he's going to be inner. And then when you go outside, you don't have to worry about that op. But when all of a sudden Automatic's opping sandwich, it's a very different look than you normally see, and it makes teams really uncomfortable.
And we can see complexity again sending all their players over here to the back of the B-bomb site. It is going to be Stewie down below in between the trains over there towards B. So hugging it to try and counter out as much of this push as he can as he plays around the bomb train. He will have additional support from Skadoodle inside of Z, but the rest of them really just waiting for their opportunity to go back in. They were hoping someone from Cloud9 would aggress over there towards the upper entry point, and they could at the very least get a 5v4 advantage off of that, but not going to be the case. Cloud9 actually playing pretty passive and pretty standard on the CT side this time. And all the smokes want to do go in, but actually they're going to try to go for a 4-man play out over here from the ladder room. It works initially to try and bait out and trade these kills, but nothing really commits himself to that spray. Gets a double kill from it though, and now he's got the situation under his control. Cloud9 this is, as Shroud has picked up that frag on a Desi, and then Skadoodle finding Jason are out in the open. They get themselves a third, and they're one away from tying this up, and they're pretty much at the point where they've broken complexity too. We may see one more force out of them, but after that, they'll be broken here.
Yeah, complexity from such a good start. Looks like Cloud9's gonna, you know, now Cloud9 has like all the economic advantage, right? Complexity's gonna be saving. You expect Cloud9 to win this round pretty easily. Looks like it's 3 towards Box Hall with the bomb, 2 towards Ivy. Maybe just looking for some 1 dig, seeing if they can get anything off Jason R's 1 dig and then kind of do something off that.
Skadoodle just waiting for it here, trying not to get himself baited into the shot. As we see this plenty of times. But
that was... What are you thinking, man?
Def just tries to go across. Desi's nowhere to be seen on the repeat there. So down goes Def, and nothing is able to push right up there, finish the job that he started a few seconds earlier to Android. He even swings into a second against Surreal here. Shriel just clotheslines Desi out from the server. And yeah, there's not a whole lot that Jason R can do now.
Except get 5-1 deeks.
I guess he could, man.
Could happen.
You never know.
He can hit some bang.
He wins these.
Yeah, he wins these.
So he goes up finding Skadoodle, and he'll get him past that choke point. First battle that he's really going to find himself in is Skadoodle and Shroud at the same time. Again, trying to take the shot through. He actually did hit him through, but it's like for nothing. So yeah, there you go. He finds the frag on the Automatic at the very least, but nothing will take him down afterwards. And with the money that is now kind of just reversed itself from what we had at the pause there, now it's Cloud9 with a huge bank and complexity broken here.
Yeah, complexity... We'll see. No op for them, but they have fully bought out smokes, mollies. They know... I'm not sure if they know it's a double op setup or not, though. But it looks like it's just going to be a fast outside.
Yeah, and smokes and flashbangs have already started to roil back in over here, and Desi specifically even getting caught on one of them, it seems like, but they get themselves over here up to the Olaf spot, but not any further than that. Automatic sitting at the very edge of a smoke, just waiting for the T's to over-aggress past that to where he would hopefully be able to punish them. Stewie grabbing one from over there on the backside of Ivy, and now Surreal is also going to be able to, along with Android, actually picking up 2 kills. Desi adding himself to the mix here to take down Nothing, who's been a huge part of Cloud9 fending off these outer hits, but Automatic still sits as a threat in Sandwich and re-evens it back down to a 2. 2v2. Android, though, perfect lineup against Automatic, and they know they have Stewie sitting in the back, but it doesn't matter. He still gets the kill when Android does swing out a little bit too wide. Jason R gonna have to try and clutch against Stewie, but Stewie's positioned perfectly if he peeks, but no! He looked away at the wrong moment, and Jason R now, he is looking very aggressively to kind of go hunting. The thing is Stewie is still lined up for this one, but he just turned his back, so Jason R, as he moves in, the timing works out perfectly for him, and he's gonna finalize the 1v1, excuse me, and steal the op away to let Complexity retain their lead.
Wow, Stewie had the most unlucky timing there. Just as soon as he looked away, Jason R peeks and then pushes him, and then again as soon as he looks away, Jason R peeks once again to get that headshot. So now Cloud9 does have a chance to break the economy of Complexity. I think Cloud9 will probably buy even if they lose this round. Strat has about 3,700, I believe. And they have a better buy than Complexity right now. So this is going to be a very pivotal round, though, that will probably shape the rest of this half. And we'll see who's going to probably come out with, you know, with the round lead at the end of the day for this half.
Android again trying to challenge here towards Ivy early on, working with Surreal to do it as he has the op. But Smoke just rolls in for Cloud9 here. They're not worried about it too much just yet. Again, as we said before, they still have huge amounts of cash. We're probably going to be able to buy at least one more after this one, too, after reinvesting here. But at the moment, Complexity slowed down their roll big time, and they're just right back into that default setup that we saw previously. And was actually working out pretty well for them. So we'll have to see if they can find the success they had a few rounds back here. They're trying to push back in with it.
Yeah, and that op, you know, it brings out a couple smokes, it takes away that vision, and now Android could be set up, and they don't know what's behind that smoke. They don't know if there's 3 guys there. They don't know if it's 4 or 1 or 2. They don't know if there's going to be a lurker or anything. So Complexity sets up Android there. Although Shroud does throw a nice molly to back him off, I guess. Now we have 2 T mid, 1 player towards inner and 1 player down ladder. I think that player towards inner is going to go down ladder as well.
Shroud swings out just a little bit too far there, and Android is able to take advantage upon that, taking out Shroud himself, and now opening up Pandora's box here to allow for them to move in. And Surreal, what a shot! Just decks nothing. Jason R follows it up with one of his own here, and Stewie trying to challenge, but he ends up walking into a cross spray scenario. So Skadoodle not really much that he can do, especially now that he's been spotted. Looks for a pickup. Somehow he isn't dead yet, despite being in the open for that long. Gets challenged by Android, and he succeeds in picking up the kill. We're right back to where we started here now with Complexity winning out the round. Cloud9 not even being able to respond to it at all. Yeah, all 5 stay alive.
Yeah, now I don't know if they should buy, because I was assuming, you know, if Complexity wins that round, they'd probably get 3 or more kills, right? Or at least 2 kills, and then they could buy. But now with 5 alive on Complexity, I don't know if you want to. So yeah, they don't buy. They just get a Zeus on nothing and a smoke, a few pistols, and a scout. But they did win a round similar to this before, where they just had Shroud push T mid and killed Desi, and they 4-1 out Ivy, and they just got slaughtered.
Shroud just sitting back, waiting. He almost had the headshot line up there. Problem is that now it's a bit of a risk to re-peek into it, as the op is there on Surreal. Def has himself a possible battle versus nothing if he wants to try and dip down there through the ladder room, but I think he's happy to just sit back and wait it out a little bit here. Again, there's not really any reason for Complexity to over-aggress currently, since Cloud9, all they have are these pistols and nothing specifically has the Zeus. He's hoping he can maybe find someone with it, but we'll have to wait and see, because more than likely this is still going to lead itself into just a default play into A, and those 2 guys at box holes right now will either try to commit to a fake on B, or just end up, you know, throwing in a few nades and then falling back. Jason R, though, down a little bit as he gets tapped with the USP. 42 HP is what he'll be at after that. And Shroud actually does take down Android. We thought for sure that that was going to be a battle that Complexity would be able to win after he missed the initial shot, but no, they respond to it. Nothing, though, misses the mark with the Zeus, and Surreal is going to be able to drop down and take him out. Now the floodgates are open, and Complexity's going to start to swing in. Automatic close up, though, picks up 1 with the P250. Skadoodle finding another one at a bit long range. Def able to trade on the Shroud, but now Automatic's hiding out here and waiting for this push to come back in. Def not ready to push for it. He just lost the bomb, but it's also down to a 1v1. However, Surreal was not ready for Automatic to peek back towards T-Con. So Cloud9 win it out, and Automatic on a 3K keeps them close in the scoreline as we go 5-6.
Wow. So just back and forth in these eco rounds. That's twice now that Desi is just kind of just ran to his death and gave up his AK and lost these anti-ecos. I mean, that's twice in a row. You know, like, you just got to be more careful, man. I don't know. You got to... Can't be taking those risks. I mean, against pistols.
So with him giving that away, that leads for Cloud9 to try and re-break complexity again here. You can already see it too. Utility's going to be relatively low here now. They still have the basics though to allow them to go for really, you know, these default takes that they've been big fans of, and it's again that same type of lineup. I think they have one extra player instead of TCON this time, and it's just going to be Jason R lurking his way over there towards the back B area. Besides that, again, it's business as usual. Nothing complex going on, no pun intended, with complexity here on their T round.
Yeah, again, they put Ivy pressure. Now they can fall back. They can kind of have that. This is the thing. Shroud died last time challenging, so you know he's probably not going to challenge again after that happened, and that's going to give them a lot of room to work up towards Ivy. You see he's just playing back post. He has support from Hell with automatic and nothing, just kind of playing bomb train, spotting sandwich, spotting 5-lane run out, spotting anything out ladder. Now Complexity is going to go outside. They're going to do, what type of smokes are these? Let's see.
Across towards E-Box there to give him a little bit of room to move in, but nothing on Sandwich here. So Automatic's allowed to just push right back up, and he immediately takes down Surreal, goes to the top jump, hopefully won't be expected. Desi was just stuck in a corner there, so Shroud has no problem taking him back out, and Automatic going off. He picks up 3, I think, before he finally goes down, and Android's not going to get anything else done after he takes down nothing. So Shroud finishes it off, and it's Cloud9 to tie it, and I believe this will break Complexity as well.
Wow. Automatic is just... How did this guy get so good so quick?
I don't know. It was immediately after he came on Cloud9.
I know.
You didn't really even hear much about him before that. And all of a sudden, he's just this crazy player working with Stewie all the time.
I mean, his CT sides are like insane. I think him and Rush are the 2 most impressive CT side players right now for me in North America.
I guess I careful with the overstatement there, but
well, yeah, of course.
But the rest of Complexity here now onto the Eco, as we said before, just a couple upgraded pistols here. And they're going to try to just train together here down into B, hopefully getting a plant at the very least. They didn't bring any utility or anything, though, so it actually could just be pretty rough if they all try to go together down that ramp. You've got Stewie waiting for it with a Molotov to deploy outside. He's seen it. And now the Molly's going to cover for the cross. The HE grenade going into, let's see, actually not as much damage as I was expecting, and he only gets 1 kill, traded out afterwards, but still under control for Cloud9. Complexity did escape with the plant, which is probably all they really wanted out of this round. And now down to Android. We'll see if he can find anybody else. He does have nothing pretty low here, and he's really hunting for that kill. He gets it, but then Shroud will trade it out, and we'll indeed see Cloud9 taking the lead here.
Poor Stewie, man. He can't catch a break. Every time they come inner, look what happens. That's like the one time they've come inner, right? I don't think they've come inner before that, so I'm not really hitting the sight. The one time they do, he just gets some guy running on a train pistoling him after he gets 1 kill.
Yeah, and that was a team ace as well across the board for Cloud9, so everybody getting a piece of the action. But double op setup now reignited for the Cloud9 roster here. Stewie and Skadudo working with it, whereas we have the full buy back in check for Complexity. And again, pretty much the same style of split we've been seeing. At the moment, no pressure towards Ivy, but one of these TCON guys may split off from the main group and go to check that out. Or they may just avoid it entirely, considering the last 3 to 4 gun rounds, they've been countered out over there, so Ivy hasn't really been a good area for them to push towards here.
Stewie a deep spot at inner, so they opt for this double op setup. Misses Android off that jiggle peek, and now they know there's an op inner, so they have 2 towards T mid, maybe throwing some sort of a fake. We'll see. They threw outside smokes from that, and now I think they're just going to go towards inner while Jason fakes outside.
The rest of Complexity now going to be sneaking in here now over there towards that inner hit. Bomb slowly walking over. Surreal's just out in the open, though, not paying attention down below. So Stewie walks in for free, shuts down Surreal. Jason R may have a big flank against these guys outside, though. Moves in, takes out 1 for free. They'll be able to pretty quickly reposition, though, as you can see the immediate trade from nothing. They do try to go downstairs, though, and change up their hit. But this is going to be actually end up being pretty bad, as they have no utility to get outside.
What shot, though.
Yeah, nice shot to find it, but unfortunately it's not going to lead to a whole lot, as now the rest are kind of going out 1 by 1. And for Def, he's got 30 seconds to play with here. Oh, the rest have packed up, but he just destroys nothing from the backside, and he's even still got a Molotov to try and restrict these guys. The op shot that's hit against him is a leg, so it doesn't fully kill him. It only brings him down to 16 HP, and now he's going to be able to get this plant, and he also forces a complete reroute on the 2 remaining C9 players. We'll see if he can hold this off. He's even expecting them to come back out of the Ivy tunnel there as he tries to line back up another headshot, but he's looked away. The timing on this is not going to work out for him, and Skadudo will close out before this goes any further.
Yeah, some nice shots coming from Complexity, but I mean, at the end of the day, the entry didn't happen and the rotates are too much for C9. I mean, there's no smokes blocking out Z or anything like that. So when they run out ladder, pretty easy kills for, you know, someone like Skadoodle.
And the game remains close as we get into the last round here, but it has gone back into the favor of Cloud9 after Complexity got themselves off to a 4-0 start. Immediately we saw that kind of spinning in the other direction as we got back from the match medic issue that we had there, but now it still remains somewhat close. The problem for Complexity is if they're going to be able to keep it close going over to their CT side, or if Cloud9 is really just going to take over and completely control the action on that second half, especially if they control the pistol there. So Stewie waits, and again, it's a slow peek from Jason R, so easy shot for Stewie, as he doesn't have flashbang support or anything of that nature. He's even going to get his own flash out to try and re-peek this one, but no one on Complexity dares challenge him after that first frag. And they're just waiting down the timer a little bit back in their default setup that they were so fond of in the early portions of this half.
Yeah, it's a different look, and Complexity doesn't really seem to know how to deal with like any type of an Ivy Opper, right? Every time there's been an Ivy Opper on Cloud9, they've just really struggled. I mean, now they just have no nades and they're going up against 2 ops. So now, this is, I don't know how you win this round.
Yeah, Def is sneaking up. He's actually getting pretty close to Stewie. Oh, Stewie just destroys Def, though, with a quick scope. And now we're seeing a lot of trades from Complexity. So Stewie does his best, and Skadoodle just jumps into the open here, trying to hold a little bit of a better position. But the problem is now he's left himself out, but nobody's paying attention close to the train. He gets one. Oh, my God! The flick onto the second. And as well, Shroud had come in from the ladder room to assist. So there you have it. Skadoodle just goes out and dominates on the bomb train. And Cloud9 do indeed bring it back from a 4-0 deficit up to a 9.
That when they want to, and to stop those, you really need teamwork. You know, if they're gonna, you know, send 3 ladder, throw 5-6 E-box smoke or something like that, and flash over, you need teamwork to stop that. You know, you need like good crossfires and things to stop any type of bursty plays like that, which Cloud9 likes to do a lot of the time. And it all starts with this pistol. If they get this pistol, they could be in a good spot. But having said that, you know, Cloud9 obviously very favored.
Yeah, and over here now, we're going to see them pushing forward pretty quickly over here to the back B halls, not wasting any time on it at all. And Desi just immediately one-tap Stewie. Granted, barely makes it out alive on the cross, but he does get out of there. Automatic tries to line up a good shot, but unfortunately goes down. Thankfully, Shroud's having a bit of better luck to finish off the job on a Desi, and nothing following through, but Android beautifully shot as well. Takes down Skadoodle from up on top. It's a bit of a, you know, shooting gallery here between both teams. They just try to knock each other out one by one. There's Jason Ard with another one-tap there against Shroud. Nothing, though. Finds 2 quick kills, and he's been bringing this down to a 1 versus 1 as Def tries to sneak up close. Nothing's ready for it, though, and he finishes off the job with a massive 4K to keep Cloud9 in the lead.
I mean, he didn't even have armor there. That was armorless, and he still ends up getting the 4K with just really nice headshots. And what you want to do if you're Complexity there is you never want to get caught in a spot like that, where you're fighting them like this, right? If one player from Complexity goes upper on Cloud, that changes everything. If he goes upper and he starts pushing up on that guy in sight, while everyone else is kind of holding and just jiggle peeking and making sure they don't die, there's like no way they lose that round, because all of a sudden that guy can't do any jiggle peeks. That guy upper's fighting him. He has a Glock. It's a really tough kill. He can keep playing around with him because he could like crouch up, and it's a really difficult shot. Instead, they just go with that like straight line approach, and it allows nothing the opportunity to win that round.
The rest of Cloud9 here again, getting ready to try and make some noise over towards the inner bomb site. More than likely, will still execute in towards A, but as we can see, already just trying to push Desi back. Get him to try and bait the rotate from Surreal over, which has worked out. He has the extra assistance coming into the site now, and we won't see a big follow-up from that. In fact, these guys, is kind of per the plan here, just going to start to fall back. Stewie, I think, is going to regroup with the main pushing force outside of T-Con, and then in a moment, while Shroud will fend off extra aggression, he'll probably hop down the ladder room and go back outside once they're ready to actually go in and execute here. But oh no, he's actually taken down by Desi, which gives them the ability to kind of rotate back inside now and try to prepare to counter this back out. A lot of them working with Deagle, so they do have the possibility to try and one-tap some of these guys from range here. Android waits in the ladder room. He does end up getting smoked back off, but now they know it's coming back onto the site. And the CTs have a lot of presence here that is not necessarily going to be easy to deal with. Automatic, though, swinging back in, gets a big lineup. He takes out 2 before being traded out by Jason R. Android, unfortunately, in the ladder room here has been the biggest disappointment so far with him being smoked off. He has not been able to contribute at all. And now Cloud9 have the bomb on the ground and are waiting for the retake to start to roll in from Complexity as they go hunting. Android finally has his chance to impact, but with the loss of Desi, Android's also going to be found out by nothing there inside of T-Con, and they already know where Jason R is, so it's going to be Cloud9 following through and picking up an 11th here.
Yeah, and that smoke really hurt Complexity. Android couldn't walk through it, and rightfully so. I mean, nothing was just posted on it the whole round. That was his job to watch. And the 1Ds don't rein in from Complexity. They even had a really early spot that they were coming outer because Depp was scouting towards team mid. So he saw them come towards outside. They just didn't really hit the shots that they needed.
And after that, again, it's Cloud9 really getting themselves into full control as Complexity do have to go for the full save here. We aren't really going to see a whole lot of investment coming in this time as they're looking towards the gun round here. Cloud9 not necessarily getting out of it scot-free, though, as you can see. So they're going to have to try and build up the money a little bit more here as Complexity may have their chance to get back into it. One of their last chances coming up on the next gun round here is they are losing control of this scoreboard very, very quickly, allowing Cloud9 to pick up that pistol.
And did you see the difference between how, like, Complexity played that when they were up 4v5 to how Cloud9 played it when Shroud got that AK? So when Cloud9 went up 4v5, I was like, they're just playing against an anti-eco right now, just chasing around with a gun. They played a lot of like spots where somebody just kind of baits for them and then they just get some kill in the back with the P250, right? And like they're almost, it's not guaranteed to get that kill, but like it's a very high chance that they're going to get that kill. And they're going to get traded on if anybody's around them. But if you have two players kind of playing that same type of mindset where somebody's going to bait for you, you're going to get that kill, you're probably going to die afterwards. But you know what? Most likely that player that's peeking might be able to trade off you dying, or they simply don't have somebody in position to trade, and then all of a sudden you win the round based off that. Complexity just kind of played like default spots, and then they all went back old bomb. You know, it just wasn't very well thought out.
Well, we do have Cloud9 going for the executioner now, right around the 40-second mark. But Def lines it up, and I think he even sprayed beforehand there too. Surreal dies there. I don't know how. I think he jumped from too high or something like that. But yeah, leaves us into a 3v3 after everything is said and done. And now Jason R being pretty low. It's still probably a safe bet here that Cloud9 is going to win the round, and certainly the case now. Jason R, nice tap though, finding Stewie there as he picks up the Deagle headshot. But it's getting anything beyond this that's probably going to be the big issue. Because now they know where he's playing from, and there's only one of two routes he can take given the limited amount of time he has. And he chooses the Ivy path here. So first battle, unless he goes far right, is going to be automatic. I'm not sure if Skadoodle just saw him there on that peak. Oh, they're looking towards him, and now only one more to go, and he gets it! Jason R, what was that? Just destroys him in the 1v3 with 3 HP, and he's even got the 10 seconds for this defuse. Complexity back in it on the third round, 7-11.
Wow, those were really nice shots. I told you, man, Jason can hit some bangers.
Just destroys them. I thought there was no way they even know where he is after he gets the first kill. And then even, he catches Skadoodle in such a bad spot too, so very well played from him. And just like that, the entire half has been destabilized. This Complexity get a big buy off of this one. They're even going to have the op, which they probably wouldn't have had previously, but they would have had in a pretty bad situation, whereas Cloud9, look, they have to stretch the buy now, down to a Galil and shot and a Tech 9 for Skadoodle.
Yeah, we've seen, I think that's 3 ecos so far. One for Complexity. And I mean, that was just like a USP eco. Jason saved that from the round before. And then 2 by Cloud9. I think Cloud9 won 2 of them, so.
So it's a bit of a crazy game we have here again. With nobody really showing consistent control. Cloud9 still very much in the lead here right now. But Complexity does have the chance to turn it around after that upset there. And nothing, just goes swinging out towards E-Box. Automatic actually is going to pick up the first kill here. Android able to trade though. Gets hungry, looking for more by the E-Box. And unfortunately he's going to get too hungry. Nothing takes him down. Surreal takes a shot to the face to bring him down to 6 HP. And now stuck behind the bomb train itself. Skadoodle finishes off the job with a long-range nade. Nothing knocking out Jason R. Desi behind a smoke here in Z. There's not really much he can contribute to. So it might not be completely out of the question from the fallback and save currently. But no, he's going to stay here. Picks up 1 against nothing. And I think, again, this is where the situation falls away from him. And he will have to fall away and save. Just happy with the extra kill.
Yeah, as the inner player, seems like you're you're always in this situation.
Yeah.
Just always having to try to clutch and outside. Good It's that 1 kill around Z, but yeah, it's definitely going to be a save. So Cloud9 winning a round where they were definitely outgunned there. They just kind of, I'm not sure exactly what led up to it because we were watching Stewie. I don't know if they threw like 5-6 smoke or what. It kind of just seemed like they just went out team mid and took battles, and nothing got that immediate headshot when he was around E-Box at the bomb train. It just kind of opened everything up.
Yeah, and that is going to put the money for Complexity into a pretty bad spot here. Jason R still at about 7K, so you can probably just donate Tech 9s and whatnot over. Or excuse me, not Tech 9s, 5-7s for them to try and use here. But actually, no, they're gonna go for it here, and there's gonna be no donations at all. Jason R just gets himself an M4 to work with here, and everybody else is just gonna buy as much as they can, which for most of them is just Deagle or CZ armors.
It's interesting that they're gonna buy here. I mean, they have a very low buy right now, and they're just playing really standard, you know? I mean, they have depth kind of trying to get a 1D around enter, but besides that, it's a pretty standard setup. They're not really taking any risks, right? So usually you want to take a risk in rounds like these where you're completely outgunned and whatnot. They do have Android in the ladder area with a Deagle, and now they're kind of moving more towards outside, kind of playing more aggressive. Maybe a pop flash team mid looks like they're setting up for. Yeah, there it goes.
Still no contact being taken here as the flash rolls out. Everybody else on Cloud9 keeping it really quiet currently. And Stewie hopping around up on top of the ladder, and they're trying to check for something, but not anything to be picked up. Complexity playing very close contact here around the sandwich area and just the initial trains out from T-Con. So we have to see now as Shroud is getting ready to deploy the smoke outside. I imagine some of his teammates do the same here. Android waits close up. We'll see if he can pick anything up. Flashed out though, so he just gets decked by Stewie. He even gets a second one. Surreal and Jason R able to trade out those 2 kills, and Jason R now finding a third. Skadoodle missing a very important shot. Shroud did pick one up and a second, and now it's all on Surreal here as he goes out. Shroud again with the 3K. Picks it up for Cloud9 as they're going to push 13 rounds.
Yeah, but that was good by Complexity. I was a little worried for him because they just started out like pretty default, but then when they moved into that setup, like they definitely had a chance to win that round. I mean, if Android and Desi don't get pulled behind right there, I actually do think they probably do win that round, because they're not going to expect another player sandwich and then another player, you know, maybe back red, if those players can just go like 1 for 1 each. So I did like that, what Complexity kind of moved into there.
Yeah, and Cloud9 pretty much just going all the way back here right from the start of things. Desi, I don't think they saw him to the right there a little bit. There may have been something peeking out, but they weren't able to detect it if it was. Shroud, though, peeking into it. Desi, is going to miss the opportunity to try and swing out there and find him. He hasn't actually been able to successfully spot any of these players yet, so he doesn't know that already 2 have gone across towards upper. Thankfully, he does have support in the site, but again, you have to think of this as the overall scope of the situation here. Complexity really don't have much bargaining power in this round. Jason R's got another Deagle armor buy. Desi has just a Deagle. But beyond that, they all are working with the default pistols once more here. Automatic moving out. He's styling on some players here as he's already found Android. He'll have a few more in the open in a moment here as Automatic. Oh, nicely done as well. The fadeaway shot onto Jason R. And then Surreal. Well, he found one, but that's probably going to be one of the only ones that they'll be able to get as he finds himself in an open battle with nothing. Unless he lines his beautiful headshots there, which he won't. Nothing will just take him out, and Cloud9 will be 2 away from the win now.
And I mean, Complexity started out this game great. It was 4-1. They had a ton of money. We thought they were going to have a really good T side, and then they ended up losing a couple ecos. Cloud9 ends up winning half despite being down so far. It was actually 4-0, sorry, when they got ecoed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were, I mean, they were looking great, man, and then from there it just kind of fell apart. Fell apart quick.
Yeah, it went back and forth for a little bit here. I mean, even at the start of this half, they tried to bring it back after Jason R's clutch, but it seems like
Cloud9 won a very critical round when they just had all AKs, when nothing kind of just went outside and got that entry. That was a very key round in this half.
Yeah, they're trying to boost up Skadoodle here early on as the smoke fades so they can spot anyone that's on top. Nothing to be seen here, but Cloud9 pretty much just going for your standard eco now, or excuse me, not standard eco, standard default, to try and work their way out onto the A-bomb site more than likely. The bomb just being kept outside of the tunnels. There is also the secondary option because you can see Shroud's also up top there to try and funnel this into the B site, with everybody kind of going over there to regroup towards T-Con. I don't think that is what they are going to go towards. Still even going out for the initial peek. I think he makes contact but doesn't actually find anyone.
Yes, they're setting up for outside smokes. And I think it's just going to be a direct hit.
You have the aggression coming out from Def and Android, but there's not really anything to try and stop T-Con pressure right now, so they're just going to funnel out there and get into the sandwich for free. Android knows they have the pressure, and yeah, unfortunately the positioning just does not pan out at all, as there is nowhere near the amount of pressure around from Ladder that they thought was going to be there. Jason R unfortunately flubs his attempt to pick up a few kills himself, although Desi and Surreal chiming back into it here now. If they can get this kill without losing one of their own, then okay, they might be in good shape here, as now they push them all back. The problem, though, is that these guys are already in really good post-plant positions, and yeah, as they do move out to look for those last 2 kills, it's an easy shot for Skadoodle to hit, and the second one as well. They take them both down, and Cloud9 do get up to the map point. Yeah,
and they also didn't have a kit, so, you know, game point, and it looks like it's just Cloud9 in complete control. So they just kind of show a little bit of inner presence. I think Sui just threw like a flash there, gets down ladder, clears that. I think he went up the ladder to throw a smoke and also check the inner push, and then they just do bomb train smokes and kind of brute force outside, force the plant.
And it looks like they're going to speed it up big time on this round here as Complexity forcing into it with just SMGs. There's already one. They actually get traded out here by Android. Problem is he's stuck in E-Box. There's no retreating from this position, but he gets assisted by Jason R. Shroud coming out though. Beautiful double kill from him. Knocks out Android and then swings it onto the bomb train. And I think he even knows that Desi's coming in on the flank here right now as he just waits for someone to push out from that smoke. Probably going to be a bit of a delay, but with the smoke fading now, let's see if Desi tests his luck. Def in the meantime just got wrecked, and it's going to be the same fate for Desi. So Cloud9 do win it out in the end of the day here. They bring it back after a bit of a deficit to start things off. They end up in complete control of the matchup there, and they will take over for this first map, going 1-0 for the night. Still one more to go, though, of course, which we'll have coming up in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Complexity, they, like I said, man, they had themselves in a good position on T side, but losing those 2 anti-ecos, losing that very, very important round. It seemed like every critical round they lost, and also those anti-ecos just really hurt them.
All right, so with that said, we are going to bring the analysts into the conversation. Now, guys, was there ever really a chance for Complexity with them getting that 4-0 start, or